And a very warm welcome back, art fans, and you join me early in the morning as I start a brand new painting. It's so early, Monty has not even got out of his bed yet and is still very sleepy. Okay, it's time to create another physical painting. This one's going to be more modern, contemporary and completely abstract. I'm not actually following any visual representation here, I'm just letting my mind wander. And I start on a pre-gessoed canvas and I'm just using a pencil just to make those marks on the actual canvas itself. And the plan with those pencil marks is to help me create a guide in terms of laying down the initial colours to this piece. So I'll start by adding some earth tones to this section here. And I'm just using a big old brush just to get that paint in. Then I mixed up this cool blue paint that I'm just applying down to this bottom section. Also at this stage I'm just using acrylic paints at this stage, but there is a change to that later on in this painting. And just in the meantime, whilst I'm painting this in the background, if you head over to floatworks.uk and enter your email address to subscribe for my free newsletter, you'll be informed of my latest videos when I release them, and any sort of tips or tricks that I have in terms of art, that would be much appreciated. I've mixed up a new colour here, so this is a bit like an ocean green, I'd say, that sort of darkish blue green that you see in the ocean. And again, I'm just sort of filling in sections to the painting. And the key here is just to sort of get down as much paint as I can in terms of different colours, trying to blend them and also creating some sort of harsh, distinctive lines between each colour section as well. And I just need your help to name this piece of art. Comment down below what you think this piece should be called, and I'll look through the comments and pick a name that I prefer. So for this stage of the painting, I'll just let the time lapse play for a little bit so you can sort of see the blocks of colour that I'm placing in on this piece for this first section. So a technique I'm using here is just some kitchen towel, sort of wet that slightly and just dab it over the paint, and you can create some mark making that sort of blends the two colours. It's the next day and I call this the ugly stage of the painting. Really that first stage is to get the paint down, so don't ever get disheartened. This stage was really just about getting the foundations down of the composition really to the piece. But this next stage with some additional paint and really sort of trying to concentrate on certain areas is a key part for then this to become an abstract piece of art. So here I'm using the spray bottle. As I say, that paint underneath is completely dry. So I'm just wetting the canvas over the top really, and just adding sort of another layer of paint here over the top. Again, I'm just letting my mind discover what I'm trying to paint here, making some marks in that paint as well. And I think at this stage of the painting, I'm just trying to create some structure, some geometric forms with like a gesture of colour and some free-flowing mark making with those lines that I'm adding in. And at the time I didn't really sort of know it, but looking back, that's sort of the basis, that's the hallmark of a contemporary abstraction piece of art really, is creating those marks within this piece. So that little session of painting has dried, and I'm going to try something new which I've never done before. I've got some charcoal and some pastels, and I think once you've done your mark making on top of your composition, I do actually like this big stripe and the section going through the middle. I think once you've done your mark making, then I think this painting will be complete. I might just add one more colour to this, not too sure yet. I was going to do the mark making and then see if it needs a little bit of colour in there. But yeah, these are just pastels and some charcoal, so let's give this a go. As I say, I've never really sort of tried charcoal on my paintings before, and I really like the process. You get some nice clean lines as opposed to using a paintbrush, and you can really dial in where you want those marks and highlight. I was just using a ruler there to create some definite straight lines in this piece as well. And already I'm sort of seeing chaos either side of this piece with your eye pulling you through into that more contemporary calming blue section behind. And then I couldn't wait to put the charcoals away and grab those new pastels and start highlighting certain areas on this piece with those vibrant sort of colours of those pastels. And at this stage the painting is starting to sort of really pop. I think the composition is there, and it's now just a case of creating those marks where I want them in this piece. I think as an artist, experimenting with mixed mediums, i.e. the charcoals and the pastels, really helps you develop your eye in terms of composition and mark making. I think the end result gives you a more tactile and organic feel to the piece, which completely draws your eye into the different techniques and different medias that are used within the piece of art itself. And as I said at the start of this video, if you're feeling that extra arty, then head over to flowworks.uk. Check out my website. I've got some original pieces and also some limited edition prints on there. And if you sign up to my newsletter, you'll be informed of my latest videos and any art related news that I have for the future. At this stage, sort of analysing the colours to this piece, I guess the dominant colour are the cool blues and teals, but with that bold warm orange and reds, creating a dynamic tension that enhances the visual impact. That painting took me on an emotional journey. I've got to be honest with you. The first two sessions that I'd done on this painting, I was always questioning myself. Like, I'd lay in bed thinking, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. But it's one of them journeys that does give you a sense of satisfaction at the end when you look at your piece of art at the end and you think, I actually really do like that. And just remember those points that you've got to remember. Two of these painting sessions that I was on this painting for at least probably 4 hours, I didn't actually enjoy because I kept questioning myself. But at the end, it started to come alive. And the feeling that I got at the end from this piece of art just outweighs those really doubtful thoughts at the start. So just remember that as well. You will have that problem as well if you're on this art journey, just like me. One last thing to say, this piece of art will be up for sale. It will be on my website. And if you do like the look of this piece of art and want to support this channel and support me, please go ahead and pick that up. And one last thing, I just want to thank the patrons out there that I've had over the course of a couple of years. I do want to firstly apologise because obviously the content went down, but yeah, I'm back. I'm going to be doing more art. And if you do sign up to be a patron, you will get a discount on the website if you do want to purchase anything on the website as well. Right, that's this week's art journey for this one, and I will see you in the next video.